Good morning dear students, welcome to Maths Bridge course. So today we are going to discuss a very important topic, that is circles. Okay. So circles is a very important and also very interesting topic. Now about circles you would have already studied in your 9th and 10th standard itself, where you would have studied certain basics. Like if you talk about circles you would have already learnt certain basics about circles. So when we talk about circles, in your class 10th you would have already studied something like that if there is a circle, it has a center and there will be a radius, okay, and you would have studied about something called tangents, right. Suppose if you are having tangent from an external point, if you draw a line, there is a tangent, and from the same point if you draw a tangent, okay, two tangents are there in such a way that if you draw from the center, if you join this line to here to the tangent, or if you join here, okay, this line will be, this radius will be perpendicular to the tangent at the point of contact, and here also the radius will be perpendicular to the tangent at the point of contact. And also suppose I take this as point, this is C, let this be A, let this be B, and let this be C, and also the tangent from external point to a circle, two tangents drawn from the same external point to a circle will always be equal. That I can say what? I can say AC will be equal to BC. All these things you have studied in your class 10, right. Now we will go to whatever the topics that are there in your 11th and 12th standard for your what, be it for your JEE mains exam, EAP set exam, or any state entrance exam, or even for what, your board exam. Even in board exams, circles chapter is there, clear. So circles, there are two chapters, circles is one chapter, and also there is family of circles, that is also called system of circles in your 11th and 12th standard, clear friends. So let us start with the discussion of circles pertaining to our 11th and 12th standard, be it for JEE mains and also for your IPE exams, that is your board exams. So see here, these basics are very important, okay. This will help you do the questions of JEE mains and also state entrance exams very easily, and it will help you to build the concepts, because circles directly you will get questions from circles, but circle concepts will be useful in some other chapters also, because whatever you study in circles, same kind of topics will be repeating in your conic section, because circle is also a conic. So you will be studying parabola, hyperbola, ellipse, there also the concepts of circle will be useful. Even in straight line some concepts of circle will be useful. So let us get started, okay. So first when we talk about the circles, you must know what is a general or standard circle equation. If you talk about the first thing is what, there are two equations here, okay. One is, what is it called? That is called general, okay, general equation of the circle. First thing we are having general equation of a circle, general equation of a circle. Now whenever we talk about a circle, we should always focus on, getting what, the center and also its radius, okay. The circles chapter is all about getting the center and radius. In the previous class where I took series, that is sequence and series chapter, when I was talking about AP, GP and all, when I specifically spoke about arithmetic progression, I told you should always find out what, A and D, that is A and common difference D, okay. When I spoke about geometry progression, there you should always focus on A and R, that is R is common ratio. These things I told in the previous class. So when it comes to circles, you should always focus on knowing what is the center and what is the radius of the circle. Now general equation of the circle, okay, general equation of the circle is given by S is equal to, or you write it 3 lines like this, whatever it is, it's fine. So S is equal to, you will write it as what, x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0. So this is the general equation of the circle, that is when the radius and center are not known directly. Here it is indirectly hidden. Here definitely radius and center is there, but it is indirectly hidden. We have to decode from this. So directly it is not there. That is why it is called as what, general equation of the circle. This C is what, constant. Okay, here this C is the center of the circle. This C is what, I can write it as a capital C. This will be with the, this C will be the center of the circle. Now this is the, I told what, this is the general equation of the circle. This is a general equation of the circle. Now when you want to find out the center of this circle using the general equation, the center C is given by, okay, here we are having G and F. This G is the representing centers x coordinate and F is representing centers y coordinate, but you should not write just G and F, you should write what, it is center will be minus G comma minus F. Why it comes, you don't have to know, okay. Center will be, coordinates of the center will be minus G comma minus F. First what you will find out, it is given 2G and 2F, Out of that you will find out G and F. Then you will find out what? Minus G and minus F. That will be the center of the circle. That would be what? That would be the center of the circle. Okay, clear? Now let us discuss about the radius. Now let us discuss about the radius. So when we talk about the radius, I told you circle means first thing you should know center and also the radius. So radius, if we talk about, when the general equation is given, the radius of the circle is given by, let me take it as smaller, is given by square root of G square plus F square minus C. Okay, square root of G square plus F square minus C. So you will find out G and you will find out F. What is the formula that we have for radius? Radius of the circle is given by square root of G square plus F square minus C. In the functions chapter itself, I told you whatever is coming under the square root, that function should always be what? What did I tell you? I told you it should always be greater than or equal to 0. That means what? This G square plus F square minus C should be greater than or equal to 0. Always this one, G square plus F square minus C should be greater than or equal to 0. Now a pertinent question will arise for you, or if it does not arise also, I am telling you G square plus F square minus C should be greater than or equal to 0. That means it should be a positive value. Since it is equal to 0, that means it should be a non-negative value. That means the radius should be a non-negative value. The radius should be a non-negative value. Now you may ask me, the question is that G square plus F square minus C is greater than 0 is fine. But if it is equal to 0, what does it represent? That means if the radius is 0, what is happening here? So here the question is, if the radius is equal to 0, so if the radius is equal to 0, that is I am telling G square plus F square minus C, if it is equal to 0, this one, it is representing a point circle. This represents a point circle. This represents a point circle. Okay, this represents a point circle. This represents a point circle. Okay, but before coming to point circle, let me define the circle. Already you would have already learned about the definition of the circle, but better let me define it again, so that you understand what is a point circle better, what is the standard equation of the circle. Till now whatever I discussed is a general equation. Now we have to go to the standard equation also, and we should know what is a point circle also. But before that, let us define what is a circle. Let us define what is a circle. So circle, if we talk about, okay, there is a fixed point at the center. There is a fixed point at the center. Okay, there is a fixed point at the center. So if you are talking about the circle, there is a fixed point at the center, and let P be a point. Okay, let it be x comma y. Okay, whenever we take a point, any point P x comma y, we have to find the locus of that point. Okay, what is the locus? I will be explaining in the upcoming classes, don't worry. So fixed point, let this be C. Okay, the collection of all points around a fixed point. The C is what? This is a fixed point. The collection of all points around the center. Okay, the collection of all points around the fixed point which are equidistant from that fixed point. Okay, the collection of all the points around the fixed point which are equidistant from the fixed point. Okay, the locus of, what is the definition of circle? Definition of circle is locus of the collection of all the points from the fixed point. Okay, the locus of collection of all the points from the fixed point, is called circle. Here the fixed point the locus of collection of all the points we should write. They should be all the points, actually they should be, definition is not complete. The locus of the collection of all the points from the fixed point and the fixed point which are equidistant, this is also very important, which are equidistant from the fixed point, is called the circle. Okay, so locus of collection of all the points, from a fixed point which are equidistant from the fixed point. If I am the fixed point, okay, that fixed point is called center of the circle, and the equidistance, that the equal distance is called the radius of the circle. Here the fixed point is the center is the center, and the equidistant from fixed point, the equidistant from the fixed point is called radius of the circle, clear. So this is the most comprehensive definition that you can have when it comes to what is a circle. Okay, now C is the fixed point around this collection of all the points which are equidistant. This point P will move around like this. From anywhere if you measure, it will be a equal distance. Okay, now let this P be here. Now equidistance, if you want to find the radius, what you will do? So here let the center be h comma k. So here you will do what? You will apply what? Radius if you want it. Let me write it as r. So radius if you want it, what you will do? Okay, you will write it as what? If you apply distance formula, this is what? X minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square. I will not put the square root because I will write it as what? Is equal to what? This distance is nothing but equal to r. Since I am not writing the square root, let me write square root here. Now if I remove the square root, what I should square on both sides. I will get it as what? X minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to what? R square. This actually is nothing but the standard equation of the circle. Now do you understand the definition of circle? Now come back to this. So this represents a point circle. Means what? The point circle means here the radius is 0. So the point circle, let this be the point circle. This is the point circle. Here the radius and center are the same. That means radius, the distance is same, and the center is also the same. So center h comma k lies here only. Okay, and the radius also lies here only. That means radius is 0. This is known as the point circle. This is the general equation of the circle. Already I told you the definition of circle. Through that I told you the standard equation of the circle. But let us do it again. What is the standard equation of the circle? And how it is different from the general equation of the circle? Standard equation of the circle, if you talk about, so see here, standard equation of the circle, let there be a circle, okay, with center C h comma k and radius r. Okay, here standard equation of the circle is given by x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to r square. By definition of the circle, I also told you how the standard equation comes. So here, see here, x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to r square. By definition of the circle, and applying what? Distance formula, I am getting the standard equation of the circle. So see here, this is what I got, x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to r square. This is the standard equation of the circle. Here, how it is different from the general equation of the circle? So see here friends, so in the general equation, the center and radius are definitely present, but they are hidden, but they are not present directly. But here, see here in the standard equation of the circle, the center and radius are clearly visible to us. Okay, explicitly it is visible. So here center is what? Here the center is given by h comma k, there is no minus and all. Okay, the center will be given by what? H comma k, and radius is what? And radius is r. That is what we got here. So center is what? H comma k, and radius is r. Directly center and radius are visible. That's why it is called as the standard equation of the circle. That's why it is called as what? The standard equation of the circle. Now here if I talk about the point circle, what will happen? Point circle, okay, with center h comma k, okay, what radius will be? What radius is 0. So point circle, if I put the equation here, this will become x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to what? R is what? 0. That will become equal to 0. This is about the point circle. Another thing is, if the center is at the origin, here if the center is at the origin, okay, for the standard equation of the circle, if the center is at the origin, what will happen? Center at origin. So because in many questions you will get this equation, that time you have to understand it is nothing but the center is at the origin. So if I am writing x minus 0 whole square plus y minus 0 whole square is equal to what? R square. Why 0? Origin means what? Coordinates of origin is 0 comma 0. This simply put, I can write it as what? X square plus y square is equal to R square. This is nothing but what? Equation of circle with center at origin. Equation of circle with center at origin. Please remember this. Okay. So first we studied general equation. From there, center is what? Minus g comma minus f. Radius is what? G square plus f square minus c. within the square root, but that should be greater than or equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, we call it as a point circle, and then I told you the definition of circle. From there we got the standard equation of the circle. Standard equation of the circle, if it is a point circle, what will happen? X minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to 0. And what happens if the center is at the origin? If it is at the origin, what happens is h comma k value will become 0, because the coordinates of the origin is 0 comma 0. So that will give us what? X square plus y square is equal to r square. This is nothing but equal to what? This is nothing but equal to the circle with the center at origin. This you have to know. In many questions they will ask this. That time you have to know that the center is at origin. Okay, let us proceed further. Before going to this one, so see here, and when it comes to circle, what happens is you have to know certain notations. Okay, I will tell it now itself. Certain notations. Notations you must be knowing when it comes to circle. So see here, notations means what? So suppose there is a circle, there is a center C, okay, and the radius is r, okay, and I am talking about the general notations we are writing for general equation. So general equation of the circle, let this be the equation of circle, let this be equal to s is equal to 0. Okay, that means equation of circle will be what? General equation of circle will be x square plus y square plus x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0. Yes or no? This is what we have. So this is the general equation of the circle. Now let there be 2 points. Let us take 2 points. Let us take 2 points here. Okay, on the circle, let there be a point P, x1, y1, another point Q, x2, y2. Why I will tell you now. Now this is what? This is general equation of the circle. This is equal to 0. Now if I put the value, if I want the distance of this point, okay, or the equation of the circle passing through this point, or if I want the distance of this point, if I want the distance of not equation, if I want the distance of this point, we will write it as what? S11. S11 is nothing but what? Wherever x is there, substitute x1. Wherever y is there, substitute y1. So that will become what? X1 whole square plus y1 whole square plus 2g x1 plus 2f y1 plus c. Okay, you will not equate to 0, you will get some numerical value here, that is you will get some distance. Okay, you will get some distance here, you will get some distance value here, So that means you will get some numerical value like square root of 2, 3, 4, 5, any number numerical value will be getting here if you do S11. Now suppose if I do, this is what? S11. Suppose if I do S1, okay, this is what? S1. Okay, if I do S1, what will happen is, if I do S1, what will happen is, this is S11. If I do S1, what will happen is, this will become, what you have to do is, wherever x square is there, you have to write it as what? X into x1. Wherever y square is there, you should write it as what? Y into y1. Okay, plus 2 into g into x plus, this will become what? 2 into g into x plus x1 by 2. Okay, so what you should do for S1, wherever x square is there, you should write it as what? X x1. Wherever x is there, what you should write? X plus x1 by 2. Okay, plus this will become what? Same thing for y. Wherever y square is there, you should write it as what? Y into y1. Wherever y is there, what you should write? Y plus y1 by 2. Okay, this is the notation. So plus this will become what? 2 into 2 times f into y is there, so this will become what? Y plus y1 by 2 plus c is equal to 0. This is the equation you will be getting. Okay, please make a note of it. This is S11, this is S1. You should know the difference between what is S1 and S11. Very important. It's highly important to know this. Now, you can further simplify this. So what you can do, because here 2 is there, I can cancel. Here also 2 is there, I can cancel. So S1, I can simply write it as what? Xx1 plus yy1 plus g into, g will be there, g into, what is it? G into plus g into x plus x1 plus 2 is cancelled here also, plus f into y plus y1 plus C is equal to 0. So, this is what we got for S1. This is the formula or the notation you should remember for S1. So, S11 means what? Whatever x and y value is there, you replace it by x1 and y1. But S1 is what? X square you replace it by xx1, y square you replace it by y1, and x you replace it by x plus x1 by 2, y you replace it by y plus y1 by 2. This is S1. Now, sometimes I have given another point. What is that? Q x2 y2. Sometimes you may have to find out S12. S12 means nothing you have to do. Instead of writing xx1, you will write it as what? x1 x2 plus y1 y2 plus g into x1 plus x2 plus f into y1 plus y2 plus c is equal to 0. This is also important. You must know this. This is also important. You must know this. Clear, friends? So, what we studied? Definition of the circle, general equation, and also standard equation. What is a point circle, and also circle whose center is at the origin, whose general equation or the standard equation of the circle is different from the general equation. All these things we studied. Now, let us proceed further. Now, see, there is a point circle. Point circle, I already told you, its radius is 0. Okay, its radius is 0. That is what I told you. Point circle. Unit circle. Unit circle means what? Unit circle whose radius is 1. Unit circle means radius is of 1 unit. Radius is of 1 unit. I can write it as what? X minus h whole square. I am writing the standard equation. Y minus k whole square. Where is h and k are what? They are center, coordinates of the center. X minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to 1 square. That is nothing but equal to 1. So, this is the representation of unit circle. This is the representation of unit circle. So, r is equal to 1 unit. Suppose we are having a unit circle, fine, and its center is at origin. That time what will happen? Okay, center origin. Center is origin. Center is at origin. What will happen? You will have x square plus y square is equal to r square is what? 1 square. X square plus y square is equal to 1. So, this is what? This is a unit circle, that is whose radius is 1 and having the center at origin. Please remember this, x square plus y square is equal to 1. It is representing a unit circle and center is at origin, and center is at origin. Clear? Now, next thing, we will study some basic concepts of circle. So, see here, when it comes to this, what is a secant? So, suppose if we are having a circle, a line which passes through a circle, that is, it is cutting the circle at any 2 points and it is still passing, that is called as a secant. It is making a cut on the circle and it is passing through any 2 points, this one, and those 2 points are the circumference of the circle. This is the center. Okay. So, that is called as a secant. Okay, that is called as a secant. Now, let us come back to this one, chord. So, what is a chord? This is similar to secant, but it will not extend outside the circle. This will be at any 2 points. Any 2 points may be on the circumference of the circle. Any 2 different points should be on the circumferences of the circle. Circumference of the circle. If you join these 2 points, this AB is called as what? Chord of the circle. This AB is called as what? Chord of the circle. Here there is a center. Is called chord of the circle. This AB is called as what? Chord of the circle. This AB is called as chord of the circle. This is the difference between secant and chord. Now, if you talk about the diameter, diameter is also similar to a chord. See here, it is touching 2 different points on the circumference circle, but only difference between diameter and a normal chord is that the chord which is passing through the center of the circle is called the diameter. So, see here, this is also a chord, okay, and there is a center, and this chord is passing through the center of the circle. So, diameter is a chord passing through center of a circle, passing through center of the circle. Diameter is a chord passing through center of the circle. This you must know. Okay, and you also must know diameter is the largest chord of any circle. Diameter is the largest chord of any circle. Largest chord of any circle that can be, okay, of any circle. And one more thing, since we are talking about diameter, okay, let me discuss this here. So, angle in a semicircle. See, when we are having a diameter, see, if you are having a diameter, that means this is the center. To the center, if a line is passing, this is called the chord, and this chord is also the diameter. This chord is the diameter. Okay, this diameter will cut the circle into 2 equal halves. This is what? This is one half is called semicircle, another half is another semicircle. Okay, so from these 2 end points, from the ends of the diameter to the circumference, if you are making any angle, that angle will be 90 degrees. That means what? So, see here, this is the diameter, AB is the diameter. So, let this be C. This ABC or ACB, here from the ends of the diameter you are making an angle C. Okay, this angle will be 90 degree, and if you are making, let this be point D, and definitely that point should be in the circumference of the circle. So this will be 90 degree, this will be 90 degree. Let there be another point E. Okay, if you are joining these 2 points, okay, and at the ends of the circle, this will also be 90 degree, this will also be 90 degree. Let me represent it here, it will be more clear to you. It will be more clear to you. Suppose we have a point C here and point D here, and we have point E here. Okay, so this angle, this is on the circumference of the circle made by the ends of the diameter, this will be 90 degree, and what about this one, this will also be 90 degree. Okay, ends of the diameter, and also see here, this will also be 90 degree. Okay, if you want one more point, this will also be 90 degree. If you want one more point, this will also be, provided that point should be on the circumference of the circle, and also very important, apart from being on the circumference of the circle, what happens, the angle should be made by the ends of the diameter. One thing is what, the point should be at the circumference of the circle, and it should be made by the ends of the diameter. This will also be 90 degree. Clear friends? This is one very important concept you must be knowing. Okay, this one, angle at the center is double than that at the circumference. Now see here. Okay, till here I hope all of you are following. Now what does this mean? Now let me write it here. See here, let there be a chord, let there be a chord here. Here there will be a center, here there will be a center, here there is a chord. This chord will divide the circle into 2 halves, but not equally. So this is called a major arc, or this is called a major segment. This is called the major segment, and this is called as what? Minor segment. Minor segment. Okay, minor segment. Now center is above this. Okay, with the center from the end of this, let this be AB, let the center be C. Okay, if you are making an angle here, if you are making an angle here, and from the same 2 points, from the same 2 points AB, and towards the center you are making one more angle, but that point should be on the, again I am talking all the points on the circumference. Here it is center, here there is one more point D, here it is at the circumference of the circle, and you are making at the same end point, that is AB. Here it is not the diameter, AB is just the chord. Okay, what does this statement say is, if this angle is 2 theta, if this angle is 2 theta, this angle will be theta. If this angle is 2 theta, this angle will be 2 theta, this angle will be theta. Towards the center only it should be, it should not be below here. Below, see below this chord it is not the same, because center is above the chord. Only towards that what will happen? The angle will be what? The angle will be 2 theta, means here it will be theta. If it is 2 theta, this will be theta. And one more thing you must know, if I draw a line here, okay, let there be point E and join this point to B, this will also be theta. If this is 2 theta, this will also be theta. Okay, any number of points you are taking on the circumference here, and you are making an angle. If this is 2 theta, this angle will be theta. That means if this is 60, this will be 30. This is a very important property, will be useful in many questions. You must know this property. So if I take an example here, if I draw a chord here, so see here, let this angle be 180 degree. Okay, let this angle be 180 degree, or let us take some other angle. Let this angle be 150 degree. So this is 2 theta is 150 degree. This will be what? Theta. This will be what? 2 theta is 150 degree. Theta will be what? 150 by 2. That is nothing but 75 degree. That is nothing but 75 degree. Now if I say, so this is the center, this is the chord. Okay, this is making an angle here. Okay, if I say there is an angle here. Okay, this angle is 30 degree, and this angle will be how much? This angle will be double of this. This will be 60 degree. This will be 60 degree. Very important to know this. Very important to know these properties of the circle. This is what it means. This is what the statement means, friend. Clear? This is what the statement is saying about. Okay. Now, let us proceed. Based on this only, some more concepts are there. Let us before going to bisector, let us see. So I told you, what did I tell you now? Suppose we are having a circle, and there is a center. It is making an angle here, and there is a chord here. Let this be AB. Let this chord be AB. Let this chord be AB. Let this be center. Okay, let this be center. Okay. Now very important to know. See here. If this is 2 theta, and what will this be? This angle will be. This angle will be what? This angle will be theta. Yes, sir. This angle will be theta. Suppose let this be C. Let this, C is already there. Let this be D. Suppose let there be point E towards the other side of the chord, not towards the center, towards the other side of the chord. So let this make an angle. Okay, the ends of the chord are making an angle with E, that is, let this be angle alpha. Very important to know here is, very important to know, if you add this theta and alpha, if you add this theta and alpha, always it will be equal to what? 180 degree. Theta plus alpha is equal to 180 degree, or you can say theta plus alpha is equal to supplementary, not complementary. Complementary means 90. Theta plus alpha is equal to what? 180 degree. This one you must please remember. This theta plus alpha is equal to what? 180 degree. Theta plus alpha is equal to what? 180 degree. Definitely you must remember. Why means, suppose they will give like this. They will be giving like this. So they will give some angle like this. They will just give some angle like this. Okay, this will be a chord AB. They will give a chord AB. This angle they will give like this will be. This they will give it like let this be. They will give something like, let this be 120 degree. They will give some 120 degree. Okay, they will give this as 120 degree. Now they will ask, what will be the angle made by the chord at the center? They will simply ask, see, let this be AB, let this be ABD, or let us take this as ABC only, ABC only. So in the figure, angle ACB is equal to 120 degree. They will give the question like this. Question will be, in figure, okay, angle ACB is equal to 120 degree, okay, or let us take this as D only, better, so that you don't get confused. Let angle ADB is equal to, in figure, with center in a circle with center C, angle ADB is equal to 120 degree. What is, let this be center. What is the angle made at the center by the chord, they can ask, or what is directly they can ask, what is angle ACB? What is angle ACB they will ask. What is angle ACB they will ask. That time, see, center is here, but the angle is here. How to do? So this is 120 degree. So that time what you have to do? We have to do some construction, or we have to use our concepts. That is what you will do. So this is, we need this angle. Yes or no? This is the angle we need. First what you will draw? We will draw one more angle here, that is on the circumference towards the center. Let this be D. Okay, we know that D is already there. Let us take it as E. So we know that this angle plus this angle is equal to what? This angle plus this angle, let this angle be theta. Okay, this angle plus this angle is equal to what? That is, this angle means what? D angle plus E angle. Angle D plus angle E is equal to 180 degree. Okay, but angle D is given as what? 120 degree, plus angle E is equal to what? 180 degree. So that implies what? That implies angle E is equal to 180 minus 120, that is 60 degree. So we got what? Angle E is equal to 60 degree. We got theta value as what? 60 degree. We got theta value as what? 60 degree. So if this is 60 degree, angle at the center will be what? If this is 60 degree, the angle at the center will be double that of this. So that will become what? This will become equal to 120 degree, because this is what? 2 theta. So this is how you will find out angle ACB. This is how you will find out the angle ACB. That is why this property is very important. Clear, friends? Slowly we are building the concepts. Okay, that is why this property is very important. Theta plus alpha is equal to 180 degree. And towards the center only you should take. If this is theta, this will become 2 theta. Towards the center only you must take. Okay, towards the center. This will be different. Below the chord, that is, this will be different. Okay. So this angle plus this angle is equal to 180 degree. And if you know theta, 2 theta you can find out. And if you know 2 theta, theta you can find out. If you know theta, you can find out alpha. Suppose they can give reverse also. See here. They can give reverse also. They can give like, see here. They can give, let this be the circle, AB be the chord. Okay. That is the chord AB. The chord AB is making an angle of 150 degree at the center. Okay, center C, the angle C. Find angle. They will ask, find angle ADB. Okay, they'll ask you to find this angle. Okay, they'll ask you to find angle ADB. Okay, so directly you cannot find this angle. This is 150 degree. So you have to find this angle. That means what? You have to use the concept which I told you. So this will become what? This angle will become what? This angle will be half of this. So 150 by a half, of the half will be nothing but this angle. Let this angle be E. This angle will be 75 degree. Okay, and I know that angle E plus angle D is equal to what? 180 degree. Angle E plus angle D is equal to what? 180 degree. I hope it is visible to all of you. Okay, angle E plus angle D is equal to what? 180 degree. Okay, or let me write it at the top itself. For this one, angle E plus angle D is equal to what? 180 degree. But angle E is what? 75. 75 degree plus angle D is equal to what? 180 degree. That implies angle D is equal to 180 degree minus 75, that is nothing but what? 105 degree. This is how, if they give anything, you will be able to find out other things. Okay. So, this will be what? 105 degree. This concepts what we discussed now is very important to know. Is highly important and highly beneficial for you if you know this concept, because direct questions are coming. Okay. Or this will be a part of some other bigger question. Okay. But these concepts are important. Clear? Let us proceed, friends. Let us proceed. Let us proceed. Another thing about the chord. Another thing about the chord. Let me discuss here itself. Okay. Let me discuss here itself. So, see here. We are having a circle here. We are having a circle here. Let us take one more circle. Here there is a center. Okay, fine. Okay. Here there is a chord AB. Here there is a chord AB. Okay. And here let us talk about this one. Now, this chord AB is there. Okay. It is making some angle at the center, that is okay. Let us not worry about the center as of now. This chord AB, okay, there is points on the circumference C, D, E and C, D and E. Okay. With C it is making angle like this, with D it is making an angle like this, and with E it is making an angle like this. This you know anyways how to make an angle here. Okay. So, what happens is this AB, above AB, that is what, this is what, major segment or major arc or major segment towards above AB, see AB is a chord, above AB, whatever the angles you are making with the points on, with any point on the circumference by the ends of the chord, okay, they will be equal to each other. This angle is theta, means this angle will also be theta, this angle will also be theta. That is what the concept I wanted to tell you. So, towards the same side of the chord, if you are having an angle, okay, with circumference as the point where the angle is being made, and the two ends of the angle are being made by the two ends of the chord. Okay. Two ends of the chord are making an angle at the point on the circumference towards the same side of the chord, towards the same side. This will be theta, means this will also be theta, this will also be theta. So, this is what you must know. Now, suppose same thing if I talk about the minor side. Okay, let this be E, means this will be F, G. Okay, let us take 2 only enough, G. Okay, and this is what we have. So, if this angle is alpha, means this angle will also be alpha. Okay, towards the same side, whatever the angles you are making with the circumference, they will be equal to each other. That means this will be theta, this will be theta, this will be theta, this will be alpha, this will be alpha, and this will be alpha. Clear? So, these are the concepts which are highly useful for you, and you must definitely remember these concepts. You must definitely remember these concepts. Okay. Now, let us proceed. Now, let us proceed to next concept, that is there. So, they have given perpendicular bisector of any chord passes through the center and the length of the chord. Okay. So, see here, perpendicular bisector of any chord passes through the center and the length of the chord. That means what? Here we are talking about the perpendicular bisector of the chord, and we are also going to discuss about how to find the length of the chord. How we are going to find the length of the chord. Now, see here, circle is given, fine. A circle is given, that is fine. So, see here, let this be the center. Let this be the center. Let AB be the chord here. Okay. From center, let this be center be here. Let the center be here. Okay. Let this be point M. Okay. This is bisecting. Perpendicular bisecting means this is 90 degree, and perpendicular bisector. From the center, if you are drawing a perpendicular, that means this is the center C. This is the chord AB, and if you are drawing a perpendicular from the center, this will always bisect the chord. That means if the chord length is 10, this AM will bisect the chord, means AM will be equal to 5 and BM will be equal to 5. That is mean, that is the meaning of bisecting. Yes or no? That is the meaning of bisecting. That is one thing. Perpendicular, that is from the center, if you draw a perpendicular line, if you draw a perpendicular line to the chord, it will always bisect the chord. Okay, it will always bisect the chord. That means this M will be the midpoint of AB. M will be the midpoint of AB. Now, see here, observe carefully. Suppose I draw a line from C to A. Okay, that is from center to a point on the circumference, that is nothing but what? Radius. Let me take this distance as what? CM. Let this distance, this perpendicular, let this distance be D. Okay, let this distance be D. Okay, now if I want to find AM, okay, I want to find AM because see here, AM, okay, or I can say 2 times AM is equal to AB. Yes or no? 2 times AM is equal to AB, or AB is equal to 2 times AM. Okay, AB is equal to 2 times AM. So before that, let us take this triangle. In triangle ACM, angle M is equal to 90 degree. So by applying Pythagoras theorem, if I apply, AC square is equal to AM square plus CM square. Yes or no? So AC square is equal to what? AC square is equal to R square, radius. AM square is equal to what? AM square we don't know, we have to find out that. Okay, AM square. CM square is equal to what? That is nothing but D, I told you, D square. Okay, D is some distance, okay, perpendicular distance. I want AM square or I want AM. So AM will be equal to R square minus D square under square root. Okay, under square root I got it. AM value I got it. But if I want the length of the chord means what? I want length AB. AB is nothing but what? AM plus AM, that is what? Because AM is equal to, since M is midpoint, we know that AM will be equal to BM. That is what we got, 5 and 5. So that instead of AM I can write, instead of BM I can write again AM. So AM plus AM is equal to AB. So AB is equal to what? 2 times AM. So AB is equal to what? 2 times AM length is what? So see here, AB is equal to what we get? AB is equal to 2 times square root of R square minus D square. Very important. So first thing is what? A perpendicular from the center to a chord bisects the chord. Next thing is you must know length of the chord. Length of the chord is given by what? AB. We got it as what? 2 times square root of R square minus D square. So AB, that is length of the chord. Length of the chord AB is given by 2 times square root of R square minus D square. Highly useful for your competitives like JEE mains, state entrance, and definitely in your what? Board exams. Definitely in your board exams, that is IPE, they will be asking the questions based on the chord. Okay, board syllabus, we are having this. Length of the chord, they will ask direct question. Okay, length of the chord, they will ask for 2 marks. Okay, VSAQs. So AB is equal to what? 2 times square root of R square minus D square. R is the radius, D is the perpendicular distance. So clear friends, this is how you will get the length of the chord. Got it? This is how you will be getting the length of the chord. Okay, now see here, if what happens is, suppose if the perpendicular distance or if the midpoint is given, okay, this will be the center, this is what they are telling, this will be the center and M, okay, this is AB, okay, let this M, midpoint, this M is what? Midpoint. Midpoint is given means this midpoint, let it be x comma y, midpoint is given. Okay, then they are asking you to find the length and equation of the chord. Length and equation of the chord. Center is given as what? Center is given as, let us take it as h comma k. Center is given as h comma k. Center is given as h comma k. So here what happens is, see here, if you want to find the length of the chord, this is what? R. Okay, here length of the chord is what? AB is equal to 2 times square root of R square minus D square. Yes or no? Square root of R square minus D square. Now this midpoint, this coordinate of x is given, coordinate of M is given, midpoint is given, and C is what? Center is also given, h comma k. So D I can find it as what? The distance between these two, that is nothing but what? Distance formula. So this will become equal to what? 2 times R square minus D square is what? D square is nothing but what? D square is nothing but x minus h whole square. Okay, x minus h whole square. Okay, within bracket, let me write it, plus what is this? Y minus k whole square. Okay, y minus k whole square within bracket, because here minus is outside. So this is what we will be having, x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square. This is what we will getting. R you will get it. So center value will have, center, the coordinates of center will be having x comma y, that is the coordinates of midpoint also you will be given. When it is given, this will be the equation of the chord. So you don't have to remember this, just remember the previous concept, you will be able to solve the question, you will be sorted. Clear friends? This is how you will be able to solve the questions on chords. This is how you will be able to solve the questions on chords. Now next concept that we are having is concentric circles, concentric points and power of a point. But before going to that, let us summarize what all we studied in today's session. So if we talk about today's session, so first we understood the definition of the circle, that is the locus of point from a fixed point, okay, and the fixed point is called center, and which are equidistant from the fixed point, that equidistant is called radius, and we studied the general equation. General equation, radius and center are not directly present, they are hidden, and we have to extract it. The center is what? Minus g comma minus f. And what about the radius? Radius is what? Square root of g square plus f square minus c. And next we studied what? We studied the standard equation of the circle, that is x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to r square, and the radius I told you square root of g square plus f square minus c should be greater than or equal to 0. Okay. If it is equal to 0, it will become represents a point circle, that is center h comma k and radius will be 0. And standard equation of the circle is given by what? Standard equation of the circle is given by x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to r square, where center is h comma k and radius is equal to r. If the radius is 0, that is a point circle, the equation will become x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to 0, that is a point circle with center h comma k and radius is 0. And next we studied what? If the center is at origin, origin means what? The coordinates of the center will be 0 comma 0, we will have this equation. You must know this, that is x square plus y square is equal to r square. Okay. And also if the center is at origin and if the radius is 1, if the radius is 1, what did we study? If the radius is 1, then it will become what? The equation will become x square plus y square is equal to 1. And also if you are having okay, a circle like this, okay, it's a secant I told you, what is a chord I told you, and I told you about the diameter, it is the largest chord, and it's very important concepts. If the circle is there and there is a semicircle, angle in a semicircle made by the diameter will always be equal to 90 degree no matter what. And also this concept, angle at the center and towards the same segment made by the chord will be what? The relation will be, if angle is at the center is 2 theta and towards the same it will be theta. Okay. If this is 2 theta, this will be theta. Okay. Or if this is theta, this will be theta by 2, half, just like that. And here if you are having an angle that is towards another side of the chord, this theta and let that angle be alpha, theta plus alpha will be equal to what? Theta plus alpha will be equal to 180 degree. Based on that we learned some questions, we solved some questions. Okay. Next another thing I told you, towards the same side there is a chord, okay, towards the same side of the chord, if you are making an angle at the circumference by the both ends of the chord, then all those angles will be equal. This is theta and this is also theta. And if you are writing to the other side of the chord, this will be alpha, this will be alpha, like that they will be equal. These concepts we learned, and later we learned the equation or the length of the chord. How to find the length of the chord? Length of the chord is what? 2 times square root of r square minus d square. And also if you draw a perpendicular from the center, a perpendicular from the center will always bisect the chord, that is what I told you, will always bisect the chord. Clear friends? These are the concepts we studied in today's session. Okay. I hope it is clear to you. In the next session, that is in the tomorrow's session, we will be discussing about the concept of concentric circle, okay, power of a point, what is power of a point, and also we will be discussing about types of circle we will be discussing. And also very important in today's session we also discussed about the notation. What is S? S is the equation of the circle, general equation of the circle. If you are writing S1, what is S1? What is S11? S1 will get you will get an equation, S12 also you will get an equation. Remember, if there is a point x p x1 y1, S11 you will get a length, that is you will get the distance. All these things we discussed, that is we discussed about the notation as well. This is very important. How S1 will come, that I have told you, what will happen to x square, what will happen to x, what will happen to y square, and what will happen to y. Clear friends? All right. I hope this was useful. Okay, let us discuss more concepts of circle in the tomorrow session. Thank you friends, take care.